Good afternoon and welcome to the Remuera Bowling Club here in Auckland, where we've got the quarterfinals of the PBA Scottish Singles underway. The game between the Aucklander Jamie Hill and Jesse Russell of the Cambridge Club in the Waikato. This event, of course, started this morning in the PBA, the Australian Professional Bowls Association. 39 lined up this morning in this knockout format where they play set play, and the winner of this event will make their way through to the PBA finals to be held in Dunedin in September of this year. And of course then the winner of these various events, these PBA events, they are the fortune of winning that event, of course, is going to the UK to be able to participate in some of the best events, the World Championships at Potters, the Scottish Singles, a variety of international events. And of course last year, none of those events, well, they were held of course in the UK, but none of the overseas players made their way there because of the COVID situation. But now we're back. And for those who don't know, the Professional Bowls Association here in New Zealand, they all around the world, in fact, they got underway in New Zealand in the early 2000s, and they play a variety of events, and players join like any other club, and then they play on the carpet, play indoors. So there's the various indoor centres around New Zealand these events are hosted at, and of course this one here at Remuera, and we've got in two now of this, the first set, the Jamie Hill game versus Jesse Russell, playing on the carpet here at Remuera. The green running at around about 15 seconds. The other quarterfinalist, which will be underway, is Colin Rogan of North Harbour, is playing Leanne Paulson of the Counties Manukau. Doug Thomas of Kamo and Whangarei is playing Mark Hall of Auckland. And of course, Jamie Hill is playing Jesse Russell, and Rob Ashton at the top of the draw is already through to a quarter-final, and he'll play the winner of the Steve Hoff match, which is still underway here at the Remuera. But our feature is on the Jamie Hill-Jesse Russell match, where we have seen Jamie Hill score Hill's first bowl, just falling short. Russell onto the forehand. In this complex here at Remuera, built at the front of the club. Old established club here, of course, in Auckland is the Remuera Bowling Club. And a few years ago, the decision was made to put the cover on one of their front greens. And thus we've got this wonderful indoor complex, and joins a number of these now around the countryside. As I watch the second bowler, Jamie Hill's now breaking in towards the jack, just going to sit outside the Russell bowl, all but sat on it. And it is 1-1 in the first set. And so far as kills are concerned, you'll notice at some point during the game, you'll notice that there is the centre spot, and then there is two spots out to the side. And in the event of the jack being pushed outside the boundary pegs, it will be the jack will then be placed on one of those two outside spots. And this is 9 ends, these sets. As you watch this bowl of Hills, going to run into his own, turn his own bowl over, won't get enough turn on it, and would still be Jesse Russell checking with the marker, but looking on my monitor here, it favours the Jesse Russell bowl still as shot. We'll see what it is. So Pat Curtis, the marker, indicates that yes, it is the one shot being held by Jesse Russell from the Cambridge Central Club in the Waikato. So he's Russell following up his third bowl of this quarter-final. Looks to be on a good line. It's going to run all the way to the jack. Not quite. Jamie Hill will come down again on his backhand, trying to reach down underneath his own bowl to get down to the jack. Just a question, is that line going to hold all the way? He's going to go outside them. We'll get the front bowl. No, he's not. He's going to go by. Doesn't touch anything. Tries to sit on. We might have got a turn out of the bowl. Whether that made enough or not, I'm not sure. Jamie Hill, of course, in the indoor environment in 2006. In fact, made the semi-finals of the World Indoor Bowls Championships at Potters in the UK. And he hasn't in fact played since 2011, and decided this year to come back and play in the PBA event in these indoor events. We know the ability of Jamie Hill, of course, former blackjack, as we see now Jesse Russell on his forehand. Turns his back on that one. Not sure if he likes this. It's on the wider side, but breaking in towards the head now. Looks on a fairly good line, but not going to have the weight, I don't think. No, it's not. And there you'll see the jack. And Jamie Hill quickly conceding the shot to Russell. And Jesse Russell taking the mat and leads 2 shots to 1. As we have played 3 of the 9 ends in this, the first of the quarterfinals. And as I say, Colin Rogan playing Leanne Paulson in one quarterfinal. Out here in front of us, Doug Thomas of Carmo playing Mark Hall of Auckland, and got Jamie Hill and Jesse Russell and Rob Ashton. We'll just have to wait to see at this point who Rob Ashton will play in the remaining quarterfinals. So the jack's been delivered by Jesse Russell, playing right down in front of us here at the commentary position. The jack's just down in front of us here as we see Russell on his backhand. See the jack sitting right on that chalk mark. Russell leading 2 shots to 1. It's on a pretty good line. Jesse Russell, very formidable draw player, performed well in a number of levels. Just finishes just high of the jack. Good opening bowl. Jamie Hill following that on his backhand. The tall Auckland player, winner of 4 New Zealand titles, of course. Former blackjack, not quite going to sit on the bowl, but will just drift by, and will be the Russell bowl holding shot. Quickly into his work is Russell on the backhand. Great innovation here, of course, at Remuera as well. You'll notice is the computerised digital scoring facility which they offer around the rinks. You'll see they've got the computerised draw scoreboards, which is a great innovation. This great old club of Auckland, one of the legendary clubs, New Zealand, of course, has been headquarters for New Zealand championships, internationals, and now, of course, one of the clubs here in Auckland, along with New Lynn. We were on North Shore, Royal Oak shortly, who have built these indoor complexes. So we see the Jesse Russell bowl just looks to be a wee bit under that draw line. Now it is following the Jamie Hill bowl. Is it going to sit inside the bowl? No, it's not. Just looking, you'll see the silver fern on the Jamie Hill bowl. Still looking though, it's the Russell bowl out slightly jack high that looks as though it would still be shot. There's a better line here though from Jamie Hill. It breaks its way down towards the jack, just going to go by. Gets a touch on the jack, would certainly help him. In fact, turned his own bowl 1 roll over, and may well still favour the Russell bowl. But there's a great scoring chance there for Jamie Hill as well. If he can get a touch on that jack with his last bowl, he can make 4 of it. Russell leading 2-1 after 3 ends, as Jamie Russell makes his way back to the mat to play his last bowl. 4 bowls each, of course. No time limit, 9 ends, set play. Here is Jesse Russell. You can see the danger there on that trail of the jack for Hill. So obviously he's got the shot. He's trying to get in that cover bowl so Jamie Hill get a touch on the jack. He only has to move the jack about 4 inches, 4 to 5 inches. And he on that backhand side, and he'd certainly get a fantastic result. So here is that Jamie Hill bowl now, because carpets are one of his specialties, trying to get down to the jack. He's going to be underneath it. Yes, he is. And I won't get anything on the way through, but was certainly created himself a good scoring opportunity. I'd be disappointed he couldn't capitalise on that. And Jesse Russell takes hold of the jack, and you'll see he's brought the jack, he's brought the mat up about 6 feet from the 2 metre mark. So one would assume it will be a fairly long jack that Jesse Russell, The Waikato player delivers. Here he is now on this, the 4th of 9 ends on his forehand, playing down towards the road end here at Riviera. He's on a good line, this opening bowl. How far is it going to run? No, leaves himself a metre short. So Jamie Hill with the Mount Albert Bowling Club tracksuit top on quickly into his work on the forehand. Playing right out here in front of us here at Riviera. And he's going to go by the jack by a good metre and a bit. So here Russell trying to improve on his first bowl. On his forehand. Looks to have a bit more weight than his first. It was going to crash into that first bowl. And he's just going to get under the bowl. Still going to be lower the jack. Still a couple of feet lower the jack. There's Hill now. Trying to improve that weight of his first. No, he doesn't like that one as well. The bowl hanging out. Taking a long time to draw. Is going to finish still slightly jack low, but certainly didn't get the draw that Jamie Hill was anticipating. Hung out on that wide side. So Jesse Russell now going to go to his backhand. Believe me, you'll see Jesse Russell playing in the short sleeves and shorts as though it's the middle of summer. And I can assure you, sitting here, it is not the middle of summer. And this will be the shot ball for sure. This bowler Russell sits just high the jack. So here, Jamie Hill now on his backhand trying to make amends. Brought that line in. Still doesn't want to draw all the way though. How's the weight this time from Jamie Hill? Looks fairly good. Is it going to get all the way? No, it's not. So the third bowl of Jesse Russell's will still be shot. Sits just slightly higher the jack. And we'll see Russell go back to his forehand. Doesn't want to touch anything on that backhand side. Leading 3 shots to 1 and holding the shot. Put a wee bit of weight on this and we'll go by. It goes by a couple of metres. So Jamie Hill now will try and get down that narrow line on that backhand side. Needs to beat his own bowl and get to the shot bowl. Going to get his own bowl, is he? No, he does get his own bowl, tips it over to make shot of it for sure. And that will definitely be 1 to Jamie Hill. So 5 ends now gone. In this, the first set, 9 ends, remember. And it is 3-2 to Jesse Russell of the Cambridge Club in the Waikato leading. Jamie Hill, the 2006 World Bowls at Potters, the beaten semi-finalist. So jack's been delivered by Jamie Hill. You'll see he's shortened that length up. So here's Hill now on his backhand. Just come lower the jack. Playing right down in front of us here. It's about 20 inches lower the jack, but right on the centre line. Jesse Russell quickly into his work on the backhand. And we'll be bringing you on Sky Sport Next. We'll be bringing you right throughout the semi-final and finals as well from the Riviera Bowling Club. So all the live action we'll have here for you. And this is the Scottish singles. And the winner of this event here in Auckland then playing in the national finals in Dunedin in September. So you watch this bowler, Jamie Hills, just go by the jack, all but touch the jack. Went by a metre and a half. So Russell now on that backhand side, just trying to beat the charcoal bowl of Jamie Hills with the... He's going to be narrow. They'll be disappointed with that bowl with Jesse Russell, the silver fern emblem on the Jamie Hill bowl. Just waiting until Leanne Paulson on the next rink. Just waiting until Leanne Paulson's delivered her bowl. So here is Hill now on his backhand, trailing 3 shots to 2 after 5 of the 9 ends have been played. And I don't think this bolt is going to have the weight as well to get. Oh, it might count. No, it won't. That's a metre short at this stage. That's Jamie Hill of the Mount Albert Club here in Auckland, holding one. And Jesse Russell endeavouring to just get past that Jamie Hill bowl and make shot of it. He looks to be on a good line to get to the shot bowl, and will do. That'll be the shot. Sits literally a bowl low of the jack, only a few centimetres away. Jamie Hill will come down on that backhand, the narrower line, trying to force to the shot bowl, get the shot bowl of the jack, sit the shot bowl out or get the jack. It's on a good line to get something, just going to run into his own short bowl, won't make any difference. And we'll leave Jesse Russell holding the one shot as he plays his last bowl on this, the sixth end. And leading by 3 shots to 2. And is he going to add? Yes, he will. Breaks under the front of the Jamie Hill bowl, sits right low. The jack, it'll be a 2 for 2 shots definitely for the Waikato player, taking him to a 5-2. 5-2 lead after 6 of the 9 ends. And this the first of the quarterfinals here at the Remuera Bowling Club in their covered complex. And of course, thanks to Tamara, who's been here in the cold for 2 days, getting everything ready to bring this live coverage. Jack's been delivered just below the 2 metre mark. Here is Jesse Russell's going to be under the line. He is just low of weight and also of green. Jamie Hill now on the mat, the big tall Hill on his forehand. Trying to get down to the 2 metre mark. It's going to be pretty adjacent here. Well, Jamie Hill, he sure is, sits right alongside the jack, falls over and draws out a back toucher, with Jesse Russell leading 5-2 as we play in 7 of 9 of this first set. The marker, Pat Curtis, just going in, chalking that shot bowl of Jamie Hill's, and this bowler, Jesse Russell's, it's going to be short of the jack for sure. He'll be disappointed with that, and here's a great chance now on this, the 7th end for the first set. Jamie Hill to capitalise and really put the pressure on Russell. Needs to get past the front bowl, and he is going to do that again and get right to the jack. In fact, making it's another toucher. Definitely 2 shots to Hill, and we'll see Russell now change his hand on that backhand. Jack moved out fractionally, which enables him to see the jack, and he'll endeavour to draw down to the jack. He's on a good line though. Is it going to get the jack or just goes by? Just goes by. He was certainly in the target area. So Jamie Hill now just waiting for Colin Rogan on the next rink, playing his bowl. And here's Hill now on his forehand, trailing by 5 shots to 2 as we play in 7, holding 2 shots. This looks like 3 shots. Just got to get, comes down to the 2 metre mark and would definitely be 3. And Jesse Russell, 1 bowl left here on this, the 7th end. And Jamie Hill holding 3 shots with the bowl to play. So Russell here, he'll be endeavouring. He's already just played that bowl on the backhand. It certainly looks his best option, and that's the option that he's taking on that backhand to try and draw down to the 3. Jamie Hill shot bowls on the backhand, just questioning how's the line, breaking in towards the head now. He's close to the jack. Here is Russell, he's close to the jack, desperately unlucky, but it's only the 1 down now. He got a touch on the jack, moved it around the corner, just didn't get enough movement on the jack to get back to his own bowl. You'll see that Jamie Hill having a close look at the head, definitely holding shot, trailing 5-2 as we play the last bowl of in 7 of these 9-in sets. And remembering those other quarterfinals, we see Colin Rogan playing Leanne Paulson, Doug Thomas of Carmo, and Jamie Hill, of course, playing Jesse Russell, and Rob Ashton will play the other quarterfinal, and just waiting to see who that other quarterfinalist is. Jamie Hill trying to get down to the Russell bowl, trying to get some turn onto the bowl. It's on a good line. Has it got the weight? No, it hasn't. Needed to get past his own bowl, get a turn out of the bowl. Doesn't do so. And it'll be a 1 to Jamie Hill as we finish the 7th of 9 ends. And it is Jesse Russell that is leading 5-3. 5-3, Jesse Russell of Cambridge leading Jamie Hill of Mount Albert here in Auckland. So Jack's been delivered. Jamie Hill, he's shortened the length up. Looks to be just slightly on the wide side. And it goes by the Jack by a metre. Russell now quickly into his work on the backhand, leading by 5 shots to 3. Definitely on a tighter line than the Jamie Hill bowl, and it is. It's going to be low of the Jack. And drift away by a good metre. Jamie Hill now on his backhand. As we play the 8th end, you definitely want to score on this end. Will Hill to put the pressure on that last end. And going to draw close to the Jack. Sits just lower the Jack by about 9 inches on that backhand side. But certainly the shot. Jesse Russell, he'll come down as well on that backhand. Trying to get to the shot bowl. Looks to be on a wider line. How far will it come back towards the centre line? And it's not going to come back to the shot bowl. We'll finish Jack level. It's half a metre wide of the Jack. Jamie Hill now on his backhand again. He'll endeavour to draw inside that last bowl of Jesse Russell's. Not going to though. It's going to go outside the bowl. In fact, fell onto the back of the bowl. But didn't push it in any further towards the head. Jesse Russell asking how far low he is. The marker, Pat Curtis, just indicating that you're about 9 to 10 inches just lower the Jack. Russell now changing to his forehand, endeavouring to get down to the shot bowl or to get a touch on the Jack. It's on a good line as this bowler. Jesse Russell, is it going to get all the way? May well have made shot of it. Jamie Hill, though, he'll come down on that backhand, trying to get a turn onto his own bowl or a split onto the Jack. He's certainly on a different line. Coming in towards the head now. How far is it going to hold up to the bowl? And in fact, it's just going to finish low of the bowl. Jesse Russell having a good look to see who's got shot. There's no indication made by the marker or by Jesse Russell. Russell leading 5 shots to 3 as we finish. This is the last bowl of the 8th end of the first set. Good to have a couple of players who very quickly into their work. They don't muck around, these boys. I'll look at some of the other games here. They certainly got a different accelerator to what the Jamie Hill and Jesse Russell have got for sure. Here's Russell now looking at the head, pondering on the backhand. So endeavouring to obviously reach that Jamie Hill bowl. Look narrow out of the hand, and it is going to be narrow out of it. It was narrow. Looked as though he was endeavouring to get down to the shot bowl or some movement of the Jack. We'll see what they indicate here. Out comes the measure, does it? No, it's 1 to Jamie Hill. So 5-4 now, 5-4 to Jesse Russell in this quarterfinal match. First set of 9 Scottish singles. As I say, 39 lined up in this field this morning, and down to the quarterfinal stage. And we'll bring you the live coverage right to the completion of this coverage on Sky Sport Next. So we'll have live bowls right throughout the evening for you as we come to the completion of this, the qualifier. Of course, the winner of this Scottish singles will play in Dunedin in September for the New Zealand finals, and the winner will wing their way, of course, then to Scotland to play in the Scottish singles. And a good opening bowl from Jamie Hill, just draws down towards the jack, just sits high of it. There's a good response here from Jesse Russell. Is he going to sit clean on the bowl or four? He does, sits right on top of the shot bowl. He definitely won to Russell. Jamie Hill will continue down on that forehand. If he gets it, signals it was too wide, and it is. It's not going to come all the way back to get that movement onto what is the shot bowl or touch on the jack. So asking the marker is Jesse Russell, asking Pat Curtis, confirm whether he's got shot or not. Pat Curtis indicating yes, that it is shot. And I can tell you the other quarter-final we're talking about looks like it may be a game between Steve Hoft and Rob Ashton. So Jesse Russell changing hands, changing down to the backhand. Be happy if he gets past the head. You won't want to sort of fatten that up too far for the trail, and makes no difference. Finishes jack low. So Jamie Hill, he'll be endeavouring to play down to get to the shot bowl or the trail onto the jack. Coming in towards the head now. He's on a very good line as Hill to get to the jack, and he does. That's the jack, bounced it around once. Would have made shot of it, I would think. Looking on the monitor, looks like the shot, but no doubt Jesse Russell will ask Pat Curtis, it's a shot from our angle. It certainly looks like that Jamie Hill converted that to the shot. 18's gone. 5-4. Jesse Russell leading in this first set. Jamie Hill holding one shot. And Jesse Russell now playing for the jack or the movement of the shot bowl. Gets the jack, moves it all the way. He made shot of that. Well played, the Waikato player. Came through that narrow port to the jack. And just on the draw, a yard of weight over the draw. Got hold of the jack, moved it back, and will definitely hold the shot. Leading 5-4. As we come to the end of the ninth end and the end of the first set. And I'm sure we'll see Jamie Hill, he'll play down with a weight, searching to get to that shot bowl that's on its way, playing with a lot of weight as Hill, coming down, trying to get to the shot bowl. Is he going to get the bowl on his own? Runs onto the bowl, didn't do enough. Was in the target area, didn't do enough, and that would definitely be, I would say, the set to Russell. It is. I'm kicking the bowls away, being conceded. So that gives Jesse Russell the first set, 6 shots to 4 over Jamie Hill. So straight away now, the second set underway. Will be underway. 9 ends in this quarter-final. So now, of course, Jamie Hill is to win this set. It then goes to a tiebreaker to find the winner. And I can see one of the quarter-final games has been completed. That's the game between Colin Rogan, North Harbour, and Leanne Paulson of Counties Manukau. And I'll bring you the winner of that game in but a moment when we find out who won that match. So the jack's been delivered by Jesse Russell playing up towards us, playing the Sutton, playing really towards the southern end here at Remuera, and finishes just slightly jack high. Hill quickly into his work following the Russell bowl. Breaks in towards the head now. He's got that lovely arc in towards the centre line, and that'll be shot. Jamie Hill. Russell now on his backhand as we play N1. N1 of 9. This is the second set. Looks as though it's going to be under the line. And it is. So Jamie Hill, he'll quickly try to capitalise on that with his second bowl. And I'm sorry, it was not Steve Hoft who won that other match to make the quarterfinals. I'll bring you who that winner was in but a moment. Gary Cotter. So we'll now have Gary Cotter playing Rob Ashton. And one of the quarterfinals is finished. And the winner of that was Colin Rogan. So our first semi-finalist has been found. Colin Rogan defeated Leanne Paulson. And Jamie Hill here holding 3 shots on this opening end. Jesse Russell now will play on his backhand. There's a nest of 3 bowls there. Jamie Hill, the Mount Albert player, was beaten semi-finalist in 2006, the World Indoor Championships in the UK. Russell trying to get the jack, and he just goes by, just misses it by a feather. Jamie Hill endeavouring here to get a 4 on the first end, really putting the pressure on the Waikato player. It's this bowler, Jamie Hill's now breaking towards the head, just wants to sit, doesn't want to really move the jack. That'll count as well. It's definitely 4 shots to Hill. It's definitely the four best bowls we've seen. Jamie Hill draws so far, drew them all within a foot of the jack. So just confirming those quarterfinalists. So Gary Cotton will play Rob Ashton. Gary Cotter, that game just get underway, up against Rob Ashton. Colin Rogan has defeated Leanne Paulson. Colin Rogan of North Harbour has defeated Leanne Paulson of Counties Manukau. Doug Thomas of Carmo is playing Mark Hall of Auckland. And of course Jamie Hill, Jesse Russell match, the game we're bringing you, where Jesse Russell won the first set by 6 shots to 4. And Jamie Hill leading 4-0 after one end of 9 in the second set. Another good opening bowl from Hill, just sits lower the jack. Jesse Russell quickly into his work following that. On that forehand side, just question how that line's going to be. Definitely going to be tight on the line. You can see it there, just fading away under that centre line. So Jamie Hill playing his second. Looks to be on a wider line than his first. This is bowler Hills. We'll just see how far it comes back to the centre line and gets just literally all the way back to the centre line. Sits about half a metre in behind the jack, just outside the line. Russell playing his second bowl in this set play format. Looks to be definitely on that wider line. Won't get to the shot bowl, but may still be 2 there. Well, Jesse Russell for sure. Jamie Hill in the second set, he's jumped out of the gates with a 4 on the first end and holds 2 shots here on this, the second end. And so watch this forehand bowl coming into the head. We'll finish literally jack level, and that makes 3 for sure. Sits just lower the jack. So Russell, he needs to get something close. He's facing a big mountain early on in this, the second set, and it's going to go by on the outside of those counting bowls, and sits on the what is the third shot, the Jamie Hill bowl. So here's Hill now holding 3. Can he make 4 of it and really put the pressure on Jesse Russell. Going to sit on his own counting bowl, and will do, and that counts for sure. And that's definitely another 4 that Jamie Hill's holding. So Jesse Russell said, right, I've been trying to draw, I haven't had much luck of that. I'm going to drive, and he drove, and he removed 2 of the counting bowls of Jamie Hill's. Looking from here, it looks like 2 shots to... It is 2. We just saw the confirmation then from Jamie, the marker, Pat Curtis. So Jamie Hill has jumped out to a 6-0 lead, 6-0 after 2 of the 9 ends. Our pleasure to bring this coverage to you on Sky Sport Next, and we'll be here right throughout this event till this final play later on tonight here at the Remuera Bowling Club in Auckland. Jamie Hill draws right alongside the jack sitting right on the market. So the first bolt of Jesse Russell's on this, the 3rd end, just goes by with the Jamie Hill shot bowl sitting jack level. And this bowl again, Hills looks to have a good weight. Going to go by the head, but it's coming right back to the centre line and all but touches the jack. Hill now putting on a great exhibition of draw play, which we know that he's so capable of. Jesse Russell 2 down on the head. And on the backhand, trying to reach the shot bowls. Jamie Hill's, no, it won't. In fact, it's going to come low of the jack. So Jamie Hill again holding on this, the 3rd end. And this will be another counter as well. We'll sit inside the Russell bowl, and it does do. The Russell bowl there would have been 3rd shot. So will Jesse Russell attack here, and that's exactly trying to get to the jack or the counting bowls, and gets the jack and goes completely out of bounds. And now we'll see which one of the 2 side marks that it will go to, and goes to the widest out to the side there, and you'll see that leaves Jesse Russell holding the shot after a very successful drive. 3 down was Russell. So here now Jamie Hill trying to draw to this foreign territory. He's on a good line as this bowler. Jamie Hill is going to be a front toucher. Superbly played by Jamie Hill after the drive of Jesse Russell's. And of course Russell needs to be careful here because he's only got the 1 bowl, of course, on the green, and electing to play the draw. Head goes down straight away, which he doesn't like it, and it's going by it will. So that's 3 ends gone, and it's Jamie Hill who is leading by 7 shots to nil. 7 shots to nil after 3 of the 9 ends, after Jesse Russell of the Cambridge Club in the Waikato won the first set by 6 shots to 4. So the other quarterfinals, as I say, underway. And we'll, as soon as we know results of those, or updates of those, we'll bring them to you. We've got Doug Thomas of Como playing Mark Hall of Auckland. Gary Cotter of Auckland playing Rob Ashton. And Colin Rogan in one of those other quarterfinals has defeated Leanne Paulson. Colin Rogan of North Harbour up against Leanne Paulson of Counties Manukau. So Jack's been delivered by Jamie Hill. And you can look at the Hill body language, you know, with what line he's on. And you can see that was going to be slightly on the wide side, and it duly was. So 7-0, Jamie Hill leading as we play in 4 of 9 in this quarterfinal of the PBA Scottish Singles at the Remuera Bowling Club. And this bowler, Jesse Russell, is going to just fall outside the centre line. Plenty of room still there for Jamie Hill to draw on his forehand. The tall former blackjack. Certainly on a tighter line. And his first is going to sit inside the Russell bowl. And will do. And that makes shot of it. It's just lower the jack. Jesse Russell now will stay on that forehand side. Got that on a wider line. Now how far is this going to come back to the centre line? Trailing 7-0. It's going to come all the way back to the centre line, is it? No, it's not. So Jamie Hill now capitalise again on the forehand. Leading 7-0 after 3 of the 9 ends. And this bowler Hills is arcing down towards the jack now. This looks on a good line, and it is. Sits right alongside the jack. So Russell following the Jamie Hill bowl, trying to get to the shot bowl or the jack. Is it going to come back far enough? On a good line, but just going to go by. Had that weight to reach the shot bowl and jack, but just went by. Here's Hill now on his forehand. Definitely holding. How far is this bowl going to come back? Certainly on a wider line. In fact, it's going to get the front bowl of the Russell bowl, but didn't knock it in for shot. Certainly moved it in closer towards the head, but will still lay Hill holding the shot. Russell now will try and come down with that same yard of weight. If he can get a touch on the jack through that port, he can make 2, perhaps 3. Trailing 7-0 on the mat. Playing with that searching weight on the forehand side, trying to get to the jack or the shot bowl. Coming back now, it's on a good line, this bowl of Jesse Russell's. It is certainly, and he gets the jack clean, sits on top of it, pushes the Jamie Hill bowl out of the head, and looking on the monitor, would make 2 shots of it. After 4 ends gone, it will be 7-2. 7-2, Jamie Hill leading Jesse Russell of the Cambridge Central Club in this quarter-final. I think there are heaters here, as there just don't seem to go very well. Oh, it's airflow. Well, the airflow from outside would be cold. So just a word of recommendation to Remuera. If you're going to have latest events, let's get a bit of heating in the place. So Jamie Hill on the backhand, Jesse Russell first bowl, jack level. Again a jack on the 2 metre mark, and Jamie Hill quick right into his work again. A toucher sits alongside the jack, sits jack level. Leading 7-2 as we play end 5 of 9. Mark up Pat Curtis just chalking the Jamie Hill bowl as we see this bowl of Jesse Russell's just go by. Certainly gets back to the centre line, just a yard of weight. Hill on the backhand on a wider line with this bowl than his first, and how far will this one come back? It's going to get to the centre line. It will, comes back, and in fact finishes jack low, counting. We won't really like that because it does give. So there's the marker Pat Curtis indicating about 18 inches, 20 inches lower the jack. We'll see Russell trying to get that movement of the jack, which he was fortunate enough to do on the last end. Here it is coming down towards the head now, towards the jack, but just going to be on the wide side. Ran into one of his own bowls, turned it over. Will still leave Jamie Hill holding 2 shots as Hill places third on the backhand, leading 7-2. as we play the 5th end of 9, and Jamie Hill now quite happy to get past the head in case there's that jack movement, which we know that Jesse Russell will be looking for. So Jamie Hill plays 1.5 meters over the head. Any jack movement now, he's got some cover in there. And in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be bringing you from the 9A Bowling Club in Wellington for 2 days, the 10th and 11th of June, the Bowls 3-5 Interclub Finals, which will be live on Sky Channel 58. And we'll be bringing you live action, 9 clubs, and the Parajacks will be lining up. The clubs from all their regional winners make their way to 9A, and they play over 2 days, and the televised, which will be the winner of this event, will go towards the televised event to be played on Sky later on in the year. So it's a fantastic event at 9A, and we'll be bringing you the live coverage bowl by bowl from, in fact, bowl 1 on the Saturday right through to the completion of the event on Sunday afternoon, as we see Jamie Hill just drawing behind the jack, draws another one at 3, 10-2 after 5. 10-2 after 5 of the 9 ends of the second set, after Jesse Russell ran out the winner of the first set in this quarterfinal of the Scottish singles, the PBA Scottish singles. Won the first set by 6 shots to 4. So here's now Jamie Hill on his forehand. And he certainly favours the longer length, does Jamie Hill. And of course, if it is all tied up 1 set apiece, after the 2 sets are completed, we then go to the tiebreak to find the winner. Jesse Russell just trying to get into the draw on the second set. Been struggling with his weight more than anything. That ball short as well. So Hill doesn't want to touch anything. So drawing now on the backhand. Leave that forehand side open. And this bowler, Jamie Hill's breaking down towards the centre line, sits just a bowl higher than jack. Jesse Russell now will also go to that backhand side, endeavouring to reach up to the shot, counting bowl and jack of Jamie Hill's. And it looks to be on the wide side, and it is. That's not coming back at all. So Jamie Hill again now on the backhand, holding the 2 shots. He's certainly got right into his drawing mode in this set. He's been, as we know, how Hill can play, and he's certainly exhibiting that here in this second set. That bowler finished lower the jack. It's a good indicator. On the drive is Jesse Russell trying to, and he gets the jack, so the bowl. There's a toucher alive in the ditch, so that marker Pat Curtis goes and retrieves the jack. So you see they agreed to where the jack gets placed on those 2 outside marks. Jamie Hill just right, that's near enough. So here's Hill here on the forehand after that kill from Jesse Russell. Last time, of course, this happened, we saw Jamie Hill draw a toucher, and he's drawn the shot for sure, lower the jack. That's the shot, and you'll see the jack sitting out on that centre mark. So asking whether he's 1 or 2 down, and I think I heard the indication from Pat Curtis, the marker, that in fact it's 2 shots to Hill. So here's Russell trying to get the jack, but looks very wide of the jack, and it is. Then Jamie Hill will definitely score again on this, the 6th of 9 ends in the second set. And we'll see what Pat Curtis indicates to us, whether it was 1 or whether it was 2. Having a good look. Well, that must be 2. He'll indicate to me in a second. And it was 2. So that takes Jamie Hill to a 12-2 lead after 6 of the 9 ends. And the jack again's been delivered right down to that, just on that, literally right the full length, right on the 2 metre mark. And right quick again, Hill, look at this, right to the centre line, sitting right behind the jack. Our pleasure to bring you this coverage on Sky Sport Next this afternoon and this evening, where we'll bring you the semi-final and finals of the Scottish Qualifier singles match. And this bolt, Jesse Russell, is going to be under the jack line, or finish jack level, but just moves away off that centre line. Hill quickly now playing his second bowl on the backhand, leading 12-2 in the second set after losing the first set by 6 shots to 4. And he's certainly got into a drawing mode this set. This bowl's going to fall low of the jack. He won't be too concerned about that, because it's really leaving for Jesse Russell a one-handed attack to the head. And there Russell having to change his hand now to the forehand. Trying to get to the shot bowl. It's on a good line, this bowler, Jesse Russell. Is going to sit the bowl clean? Yes, it will. Well played by the Waikato player. Sat the Jamie Hill bowl in behind the jack, turned it over once, made shot of it. Jamie Hill now following the Jesse Russell bowl on his forehand, trying to get to the jack or to sit on the shot bowl. Looks to be slightly wider than the Jesse Russell line, and it is. And in fact, we'll just sit on the outside of the Jesse Russell bowl. So Russell now trying to add to the head. Remember, he won the first set, 6 shots to 4. Doesn't like this one. He let it go out of the hand. You can see it's under the line. So we'll see Jamie Hill now. He'll certainly be endeavouring and short. Hill will certainly be trying to get down to the jack, get a trail on the jack. Certainly all favourite Jamie Hill, leading by 12 shots to 2, but it's going to be outside that line and goes by. That's a shot he was certainly trying to play. Had a metre of weight on. Silver Fern emblem on the charcoal bowls of Hills. And it will be Jesse Russell that will score on this, the 12th end. Doesn't matter whether it be 1 or whether it will be 2. It's on a very good line. This bowl, has it got the weight to go all the way? Don't think so. I think it will just be the 1. It is just the 1. I see indication from the market, Pat Curtis. So Jesse Russell has conceded the second set at 12-3. Obviously 9 shots behind, and most you could score, or you could score 8, but only get him to 11. So here's Hill now. Jack being delivered on that long length that Jamie Hill has been favouring. But Jesse Russell won the first set 6 shots to 4, and Hill winning the second shots 12 shots to 3. Here's the first bowler. Jamie Hills goes by just over a metre, but right on the centre line. Now Jesse Russell now on his following the Jamie Hill bolt on his forehand, and the winner of this game will play the winner of the Doug Thomas Mark Hall match. Good bowl here from Jesse Russell. In fact, draws a front toucher. What a great time to draw a front toucher. Jamie Hill following that forehand line now in this quarter final. Great bowl from Jesse Russell. Has Jamie Hill got the weight to get all the way down? No, he hasn't. He's going to finish low of the jack. It's a tiebreaker. It's a 3-end tiebreaker. Pretty sure that's the format. We'll know in but a moment. So Jamie Hill just going out to the side of the head. Just asking the marker Pat Curtis how far the jack and the bolt, if the gap is in between. And you saw Pat Curtis, the marker, indicate. It's pretty close. Only centimetres really. So Jamie Hill, he'll endeavour to try and draw down. Needs to, of course, get right down to the shot bowl. And that's going to go by. He's playing with weight to try and turn the bowl through. Russell now on his backhand. After drawing that front touch up with his first bowl. Great opening bowl. How's the weight of this second bowl? There's a good bowl here as well from Jesse Russell. And we'll finish right on the centre line. That's certainly 2 shots for sure. And Jamie Hill, for the first time in this match, going up to have a look just to see, I think, how far he's got to draw either the shot or second shot. And as I said, one semi-finalist has already been found, that being Colin Rogan of North Harbour, who defeated Leanne Paulson of Counties Manukau. And over out here in front of me, the other quarterfinals are underway, and I can tell you in the first set it's Gary Cotter. As they play in the 16, it's Gary Cotter of Auckland who is leading Rob Ashton by 7 shots to 5. And in the Doug Thomas Mark Hall game, that's way over on the far rink, I can see it's 1-1 at this point in time. And I'm not sure whether they played in the second set or a tiebreaker. I'm not going to try and guess because I don't really know what the story is there. And I'm just really having a read of the rules here. The best of a best of 3 ends match tiebreaker will be played to determine the winner. And this will be the winner of each end and not the total number of shots won in the 3 ends. So here now is Jamie Hill on the mat. On the drive is the big fella, trying to get to the shot. Oh, no, he didn't. So if I go by that measure, Jesse Russell won't play his bolt because that's the end won by Jesse Russell. And remember, it's the best of 3 ends. So that gives Jesse Russell the first end of this tiebreaker. Remember, Jesse Russell won the first set by 6 shots to 4, and Jamie Hill ran out the winner by 12 shots to 3 in the second set. And the first end of the tiebreaker saw Jesse Russell win the very first end, and you'll see that he has taken the mat up quite a distance and delivered the jack right down to the, you'll see it here, right to the furthest point. See Pat Curtis there, just straightening up that jack. Here it is, sitting right on the 3 metre mark. So it's a shorter length end for sure. Remembering it's a best of 3 ends. And Jesse Russell now, he's opened up with a reasonably good bowl, about 20 inches low of the jack. So Jamie Hill had been so dominant in the second set, lost that first end of the tie break. Playing his first bowl now. Of course, he needs to win this end to stay alive, and he'll draw the shot here. So it arcs down towards the jack, finishes jack level. It depends if it falls in or out. Russell now of the Cambridge Central Club, trying to improve to beat his last bowl, and he will. Just going to slip under the jack, doesn't touch the jack. It's a wee bit. So, Jamie Hill play down on his backhand. Must win this end, Hill, to stay alive, to go to a third end, the tiebreaker. Breaking back towards the centre line now. This will be the shot for sure. This bowler, Jamie Hills, it is. Falls lower the jack. It's about 14 inches lower the jack. And you'll see there Jesse Russell asking Pat Curtis how short or how lower the jack it is. So it's a 3-end tiebreaker. Shots don't count, remember. It's winning the end that counts, and Jesse Russell won the first end of this 3-end tiebreaker. And here's Russell now trying to play to the Jamie Hill bowl. Looks to be lower the jack and going by. It'll get to jack level, but it won't quite make it. No, it won't. And asking the marker is, and Jesse Russell indicating to Jamie Hill, yes, you've got one shot. So here's Hill again now on his backhand. And Jesse Russell still with one bowl to play. He's out on that wider line as Jamie Hill. How far is this going to come back? Now, of course, so if Russell was able to get the shot here or dislodge the Hill bowl, it would put him in the position of holding two ends and thus making his way, putting the pressure right on Jamie Hill. Then with his last bowl to stay alive. So here is now Jesse Russell changing his hand, endeavouring to play up to his bowls or to the Jamie Hill bowl. Is it going to go by? Is he going to get something? He does, and rolls his own bowl in. And that would have made shot of it. Well played by the Central Cambridge player. Touched his own bowl. And that'd be one shot to. And Russell holding the shot, thus holding the match at this point in time. So here's Jamie Hill now on his backhand, endeavouring to reach up to the shot bowl or the jack. How far is it going to come back with that weight? He's certainly got more weight, needs to touch into his own bowl, does, and pushes it in for shot. Rolls the bowl in for shot, I think. We'll just check. I'm looking down here. Got the monitor in front of me, but I'm looking down in front of me. and the match's been passed over. I thought we'd called that wrong. So here we go. Now this is the last end for sure. So this is one end all in the tie break. And of course it is the best of three. Is now Jamie Hill playing down towards the northern end here, the Newmarket end at Remuera on his forehand. Just rescuing the situation with his last bowl to get a touch on the bowl, turn it in for shot. And there's a pretty good opening bowl from the former semi-finalist, 2006 semi-finalist at the World Indoor Championships in the UK. And draws just slightly low of the jack. And Jesse Russell's on a good line here. How far is it going to run to the jack? Just goes by the centre line. It's certainly right on target. It would still be the front bowler, Jamie Hills, the Aucklander, that will be holding shot as we play this, the last end of this tie break, where Jesse Russell won the first end and Jamie Hill winning the second end. As you watch this bowler, Hill's going to finish lower the jack, gets to the centre line, but he's half a metre lower the jack. Jesse Russell now with his second going to the backhand, all in his favour. We can get a touch on the jack or sit inside the Jamie Hill bowls, which is what he's trying to do, and he's on a pretty good line. How far is it coming back to the jack though? And he indicates that that's lower the jack. Jamie Hill quickly into his work, and it is the bowler Russell's who's lower the jack. Jamie Hill following this is third bowl. He'll want to get past if he possibly can. Definitely holding one. Sits jack level. Just asking, am I just the one down? Is the Jesse Russell asking the marker Pat Curtis, am I just the one down? And it is just the one, was the indication from Pat Curtis. In this quarterfinal, the last end in this tie break, Jesse Russell now on his backhand, playing down with weight, trying to get to the bowls of Jamie Hill's. Is it going to get the bowl? It does, and turn the short bowl of Hills over. He's only half a bowl away from getting the perfect result. Jamie Hill holding two. Not that that really matters. You just got to make sure that he can win the end as Jesse Russell makes his way up to have a look. So Jamie Hill now making his way back to play what will be his last bowl for sure in this quarter-final. Holding the shot. Remembering Jesse Russell won the first set. Jamie Hill the second end, sorry. And here's Hill now playing his last bowl on this best of three in tiebreaker. Changed his hand. Did Hill, needs to stay out on the wider side. Is going to do so. Doesn't want to move the jack, does he? No, sits right on top. He won't like that bowl, really. No, he doesn't. You can see the body language of Hill with the back bowl. He was trying to get the back bowl because now, of course, Jesse Russell can play up there with weight, sit on the bowls, get the jack back clean, and he's got the backest bowl on the rink, which would leave him holding shot. Jamie Hill, just by doing that, has opened the door, really. It was only a draw option that was really open for Jesse Russell. It's now changed. Russell now back to the mat. On the mat is Jesse Russell playing on in the backhand, trying to get to the jack or the shot bowl. Trying to get to the jack's going to get the port, unfortunately, and go by, and it does. He was under the line. That was the issue. He wasn't on that straight line to the jack. He was under the line. So Jamie Hill, after losing the first set by six shots to 4, and then convincingly winning the second set by 12 shots to 3, and then, of course, into the tiebreaker where they played the best of three ends, and we saw Jesse Russell win the first end, Jamie Hill win the second and win the third end, and that now sees Jamie Hill now through to the semi-final. And Jamie Hill will, later on this evening, he'll play the winner of the Doug Thomas Mark Hall game, which is underway. Colin Rogan is already through the semi-finals after defeating Leanne Paulson, and Gary Cotter, he's out presently playing Rob Ashton. So we'll be back with you with the semi-final action. Not sure what time that will be, but we'll be back live on Sky Sport Next. This is Kevin Hickland at the Remuera Bowling Club, and look forward to bringing you the semi-finals of the Scottish PBA singles here at the Remuera.